Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 37 of Malt and Magic Campaign 2. This is the Planar Detective Agency. I am not wearing pink contacts this week. We are all good and comfortable for a session. I am just going to tweak my camera slightly because it's chopping off the top of my head. So I'll tweak that a little bit. There you go. You can see the top of my head now, and I don't look like I just stop. Very good. So yes, last week was one hell of a marathon for us. It was probably the longest episode we've done in a long time, but still very, very fun. We hope you all enjoyed the Halloween madness and madness, when I can actually pronounce words, and all the chaos it brought last week. But yes, we are here. We have leveled up as of last week as well, so big things to discuss right at the beginning of the session. But before we descend into that madness, let's run down our usual shout-outs and thank yous. So, of course, a big shout-out to Incarnate Owlbear Radio and Dungeon Alchemist for virtual tabletop and mapping means. And then a big thank you to D&D Beyond for all things character management and D&D management. Then there is Hero Forge and Midjourney and a few other tools that we're using just for sort of image concepts, character visuals, and all sorts of crazy stuff. You saw some of the generated images last week, which are awesome. But yes, as and when we need character art and stuff like that, official artwork, as I have always said, we will engage with some official artists. So if you are a budding artist and want to help us out, then we would be more than happy to hear from you, because we are looking for an update to our artwork to bring it into a new fresh style. So give us a shout. Yes, then there are the DM's tools that I use in the background there. So Kassoon, 5e Magic Shop, 2 Minutes Tools, the Thieves Guild and World Anvil. Quite a few of them there. I dip into them every now and again just for little DM's tips and tricks. Any of the musical tracks you hear in the background are courtesy of either Tabletop Audio or Battle Bards. Please go and check them out. I have been using both Tabletop Audio and Battle Bards to prepare for a little thing I'm doing for my family over Christmas. So yes, set in a sort of 1940s film noir type setting. There's some really cool tracks and sound effects for that. I will let you all know how that goes. I think if that's successful, that might be a one-shot that I replay with other people. So my family are definitely guinea pigs over the Christmas period. And yes, I said the C word because we're past Halloween now, so you know where my brain's gone. Straight to Christmas. Anyway, let's also send a huge thank you out to both Homie and the Dude and the Eldritch Press. Bodhi is here with us once again as our regular / guest star, whatever we want to call them, family member at this point. And then the Eldritch Press providing our giveaway for this evening, which we rolled over from last week. It is those 3 PDFs from the Eldritch Press, so do not miss out on the chance to win those. We will be giving them away during the break. There will be a question for you to answer based on the first half of the episode, so make sure you're paying attention. And then yes, it will be a case of fastest finger first. Whoever answers that question first will get those PDFs given or sent on their way to them. What else to talk about? You will have seen the social media channels checking out along the, or popping up along the bottom there, so please go and join us on those channels, whether it's X or Twitter, Threads, Instagram. We are once again live on YouTube, so if you're joining us live on the YouTube channel, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to what is our second episode live on YouTube, but it's episode 37, of course, of Campaign 2. If you're joining us on Twitch, we love you all. Thank you for being with us once again. Thank you to our regulars. Hello to all of you. It's great to see you. Yes, go check us out on those social media channels, and of course, if you want even more goodies, then please go and check out the Discord server as well. Bodhi and I were just talking pre-stream about a few things we're going to do on Discord, so look out for them. And of course, I have released last week a rather juicy homebrew on the Discord channel, so that was from Campaign 1 and is very, very exciting. It's one of our bigger weapons from the campaign, so please go and check that out. That being said, yes, no, I should talk about the podcast. That's rather important as well. Almost went straight to the introduction there. But yes, hopefully you will have been listening on the podcast. If you are listening on the podcast, thank you for joining us on the podcast. Thank you for listening. We have absolutely smashed past the 3,000 all-time listens mark, which is epic. So thank you so much for everybody who supported us there. Listens in general are up on the podcast, so it's great to hear, great to see. We love you all. Thank you. If you do ever feel like dropping into Discord or onto the Twitch or YouTube channels, then please do. We would love to say hello. But yes, if not, then you can check out our podcast on any podcast platform of choice, and you can also catch the VOD of this episode on Friday on YouTube as well. I have waffled my way through that intro, but I think we are good. So my usual warnings do apply. There will most certainly be adult language and most definitely adult humour. You have been warned. Let's roll. Hello!
Hello.
I love how we're all just sat there waiting for the intro to finish so we can all just go, hello. Fantastic. Good stuff. So yeah, I made a total hatchet job of that intro. Just totally forgot what I was doing halfway through. But anyway, before I make a hatchet job of this intro, let's run down the lineup very quickly. Let's say hello to everyone. And then before we do the recap, we will deal with all of the level up shenanigans. So I am Matt. I am the Dungeon Master for this evening, also playing the psychic character of Callum Verfleur, and just the emotional outlet of Cog.
Now that he actually has an emotional output.
Mm-hmm.
I am Dave, and I am playing Jewel of Shadows, the female Tabaxi rogue.
And I am Danny, who plays Lex Ordo, your UNT sorcerer, and to make Matt feel better, I'll make a hatchet job of playing D&D.
I'm Bodhi from Homie and the Dude, and I'm here playing Edgiest Bones. Let's fucking get it tonight.
Absolutely. So, last week we did have our Halloween special, and there were lots of things that happened, but probably one of the most important things that happened was everybody leveled up to level 7, as you finally claimed the third recipe item to go and fix the fritzing portal by Morse Tacey. So, we're going to roll some hit points. And if you are, I'm assuming, so Dave has taken a level in Rogue.
Yeah.
Danny's taken a level in Sorcerer.
Nope. Yeah, of course I have.
You've multi-classed. Yeah. Fantastic. And Bodhi, you have taken a level in
Sorcerer.
Nice.
I think I'm leaving Bard as it is. I won my Bard magic. I don't feel like I can grow from where it is, so I'm just going to grow my Sorcerer from here on out.
Very good. Very good. And Callum has gained another level in Warlock. So, we're going to roll
Callum.
hit points. Dave, I'm going to ask you to roll for Jewel first. Again, if we roll a 1, re-roll it. But we'll see what the hit points for Jewel goes up to.
Oh, you fighter.
Apparently it was that excited it jumped out of the tower.
Yeah, so there we go. It is a 6.
A 6.
Okay,
Good old
come
number
on.
there.
6
Not
out of 8.
Um,
Happy with that?
very good. That brings your total to 49.
49 with the assistance of good old Lex over here, so it'd usually be, 39?
39.
Yes.
Very good. Lex.
Coincidentally, a 6.
I sense a pattern forming here.
Constitution and all that bollocks, I'm up to 63, but that's probably with aid thrown on top, isn't
Probably
it?
with 8.
So,
Very good. So that'd be 53, yeah.
Oh, you guys have a HP modifier giving you that 10 just naturally because Lex is. I see what's happening.
It's
I
the
get it
aid.
now.
It's the
Aid.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lex's
so it
aid.
would be 53.
Which is not Lex's aids, it was Lex's aid.
I was going to say, I didn't know that had
knows?
happened between
Different
us yet.
character, different campaign.
Yeah.
Lex is a completely different person to Ander.
We all share needles and mechanics. It's just the way
Yeah,
it
I see. I see.
That's how we get aid, is it? We just shoot up
Nearly a
everything.
6.
Go on then,
Nearly
Bertie,
a
what'd you
6,
roll?
but a 5. A 5.
A 5, a very
Ooh.
healthy 5.
So that takes me up
Watch Callum
to...
roll a 2 then.
Takes me up to 58.
Nice. So
Is that
that's
cor-
58
wait, is
with
that
aid?
correct? Yes, with aid.
With aid.
With aid. So 48
Yes.
without aid on. Very good.
48 without aid on.
Very healthy.
Oh, do I need to level up COG?
Does Cog level up?
Ooh.
I could hear the
That's,
cogs whirring
that's a
then.
question I'm asking. I don't know.
I will look at that in just a minute. Let me roll for Callum. 5.
Hey, it's Manabe.
Go on, Callum.
What's annoying is COG has a better armour class than me, which makes you want to boot him.
I mean, he is made of metal. So
you'd
that
dodge it
will
with an
make
AC.
He is
Like that.
essentially the golden snitch, so yeah, it is hard to hit.
43 on there for a grand total of...
He is a bit of a snitch, to be fair, hiding that shit in that box.
Fucking
Callum
knock.
is now up to a total of 57 hit points. And that's without
I
aid.
was going to say that's without aid because he can look after himself.
Go on,
Well, I
Callum.
can only pick 3 people and he'll never make the cut. Let's do it
Well, for now,
for now.
that will eventually go up
Poor
as you cast
Callum.
that at higher levels. In fact, I think you can probably now upcast to 4th level. And
I can,
therefore target
yeah.
an extra
But
person.
he's not worth the slot.
It's not the first time Callum has heard that sentence.
Dryads would have go on him easy.
Oh, but darling, please.
Well, they're the source of his power. So, right, let's look
I remember
at
getting molested
Lex.
inside a tree by a Dryad in campaign 1. And I had no choice in the matter.
Well, you did have a choice in the matter, but yeah, okay.
You certainly
Yeah,
didn't
my
say
choice
no.
my choice was yes or hell yes. They were my 2 options.
In answer to your question, no, not for this level.
Alright.
I'm not sure if I
So
had a
I'll sort
4th
Cog
level
out
spell
another way.
slot before this, but holy shit, I got a 4th level spell slot out of nowhere, I think.
You did.
Johnny
Access
Club.
to 4th level spells as of this level,
Oh,
Beautiful.
which knocks
Fuck
all
shit
of
up.
Callum's warlock spells immediately up to 4th level. Because he only has his 2 warlock spell
yeah. So
slots.
they're
Always the same
They're
level.
just always powerful.
Yeah. So they don't have a lot, but it's always powerful.
Oh,
Very
Callum.
good. So, I just caught that one in the background there. Last week we had a spooky old time in Dryad's Gates. As we sort of spent the first half doing a little bit of canvassing of the city, just trying to spread the word of the Planar Detective Agency having head over to the Druids, only to be turned away. Now, there wasn't a huge amount of checks made on the old Druids at the time, but you could have garnered more information. I'll let you know that now. Could have garnered more information out of them had you decided to interrogate them or interview them, but there was a couple of insight checks.
Captain
You realised
Answer.
they were a bit nervous, and they told you to come back later. So you went and canvassed the city, went and bought a few items. There was some interesting moments of afternoon tea with some old bird called Deirdre even, in some little hut somewhere, who is rapidly going to be the Planar Detective Agency's secretary, I think was the key there. And there was a moment where you stumbled across a group of elves who were discussing their missing wives, daughters, aunts. A lot of female members of the family had gone missing, and you found out they were singers who were meant to perform at the Greenheart Festival. So that was the new case that Lex decided to take on for the group and told the group about. Very quickly realised this was all connected. Jewel up in a tree started to hear this strange, ethereal, eerie music and this sickly green glow, if you like, coming from where the central tree is. Sil Arael, the name of the tree. Made your way back to the Druids as evening fell and this strange sort of creepy fog started to wind its way throughout the city. Only to find the Druids in a sort of line, chanting as if they were almost trying to keep some magic or something at bay. You went in to the grove at the heart of Dryad's Gate and found Sil Arael, this huge, great oak tree, this giant oak tree. And you found the statue still, Dryad, the protector of this grove, and the voice of Sil Arael, frozen or paralysed, muttering 2 words: slumber and awakening. You also found a rune etched into one of the roots and an opening down into the base or under the base of the tree. It was down here that you discovered the spirit of an ancient druid chained down here by these great ethereal chains that were sort of hooked into the spectral flesh of this creature. And there was this faint glow coming from one of the thickest roots into the undercroft of this tree, if you like, the base or the root area of this tree. You kind of figured out this was some form of druid grove, a sub-grove, if you like, within here. Discussed with this ancient druid spirit why they were down here, and I think the most we got out of them that they were chained down here for their crimes. They tried to use the power of this crystal for themselves. Didn't go very well, and they were chained down here by the Dryad themselves. They asked for your help in redemption, and choosing not to go down that route, Jewel, you tried to pull the crystal from the heart of this root, only to see this ancient druid spirit transform into a rather large, dark, tree blight type creature, and summon 2 or 3 smaller little shadow blights as well, and the battle was on. And you actually did really, really well in the battle again. I think Jewel was the closest to, as you can see the hit points on screen here, Jewel was the closest to dying yet again. Jewel is bloodied, but generally got through the battle pretty unscathed. Yes, you retrieved the star-touched crystal, having defeated this druid and set the spirit free, or at least banished it beyond into wherever spirits go. And then the Dryad themselves stepped out of the tree and had a small conversation with you where they explained it was time to let the crystal go and it was now time to hand it over to you, so your reward was the star-touched crystal, which completed your set of ingredients to go and heal the portal, the Feywide portal, outside of Morse Tacey. And this is where we begin our evening, our evening, but still evening in game as well, as you step out into Dryad's Gate and into the grove of Sil Arael itself to see those ancient druidic spirits, thousands of them just dancing throughout the city, and the Green Heart Festival continuing as it should, with singing as the elven figures that had disappeared step out of these starry portals and appear once again and begin to sing this song.
Two questions. Oh, sorry, go for it, Dave. You go first.
I was going to say, so quick question from me, and that is the Dryad we spoke to from the tree was the same one, or looked the same as the one who was motionless at the...
As you step out from the undercroft, from this undergrove, you see the same Dryad that you'd spoken to downstairs step out of the tree and is now the only Dryad around.
Cool. Good.
Cool.
Cool, buddy.
Two things. One, I'm not sure if you mentioned this. What was the name of the lady who I spoke to in the spell shop? In the spell shop.
Yes.
And also, what was the scroll I got? Because I got a Misty Step scroll for learning, and then I got another scroll, but I can't remember what it was.
Scrying.
That was it. Oh, that's what. There we go.
Oh, yes.
We've got some detective shit going on.
Yeah.
And I
What
need to write
level
up the
is
right
scrying?
segment.
Does anyone know what level
Scrying
scrying
is
is?
a fifth level spell. Scrying.
Somewhere between 1 and 10.
Somewhere between 1 and 9, technically. It is a 5th level
Still
spell.
correct.
Fuck me, I pulled that out my arse, didn't I?
Cool. And the lady's name was?
Bear with me just a
As
second.
a sorcerer, are you able to then use that, or do you have to have some sort of, what do you call it, the magic focus?
Is anyone want to find out, Dave?
Yeah.
So the name of the proprietor of Soulbracker's Sorceress Sundries was L'Oreal Soulbracker.
Oh, yes, because you told her she was
L-O-R-I-E-L.
worth it. Yeah. I remember. I tried to cast a spell that I couldn't cast in campaign 1, and
It went
FYI,
so
I nearly
well.
died.
We had a lot of fun with that, actually.
That really
Yeah,
did,
but-
you know.
For the purposes of the story and for the people watching, try it. See what happens.
Yeah.
Second question: did I end up planting the moon seed last session?
You
did I get? I
It was your
think I did get around
final
to doing that,
thing
didn't I?
that you did.
Yeah.
Because you
Cool.
planted one seed, and then you basically turned around and flipped the bird at the ginger druid that had basically fobbed you off and told you to fuck off.
Fucking that ginger bastard. That redhead motherfucker. Oh, I have a spellcasting focus, Dave.
Fine. Cool.
Yeah.
It's a plectrum, right? It's a plectrum.
It's a lot more. You guys already know what it is. Actually, you guys have already seen my spellcasting focus.
Mm-hmm.
I will look forward to...
Pan float.
We'll see. we'll circle back to that.
Okay, can Jewel therefore look around here, give a thankful nod to the Dryad, and see if we can see the other druid that we saw, who we initially spoke to, who was called something like Dom.
Broom.
Of the
Bron,
Moors.
that's it.
Oh, not broom. That's close.
I said Dom, so it's fine. Yes, can I see if Brom is around?
You actually turn and look around, and you see Brom slowly approaching you, with a sheepish look, but also there's a hint of a smile there.
Well, my friends, you have done a great deed here this evening. Well done.
I take it what laid beneath the tree is not a mystery to all of you?
To most, yes. To me, no. I have known of this ancient druid for, well, many a century now.
Has this not been more of an issue in these
Yeah. Didn't think to
festivities?
address that at any point.
No, the song that was sung prior to our elven choir here returning and singing the true song of the Greenheart Festival, that song was lost to the shadows and darkness. Someone has uncovered it, allowed it to be sung again, and pulled this ancient druid back into some form of power and corruption.
Do you have a prime suspect on who that might have been?
Not a clue, my friend. Not a clue.
So this
was something I was hoping to speak to you about, actually. Given your prowess in solving this mystery, and given the fact you said you were a detective agency.
At your service?
Officially.
I believe...
Officially.
This is definitely something that would do better. Let us have a seat, some mead, perhaps, of the festival, and shall we discuss this?
I have need to perform part of the reawakening ritual this evening. What I was going to suggest was, you said you had a new office that you needed protection on. Perhaps I will visit you in the morning, and as my payment for completing this and helping us celebrate, I will gladly provide this service. And then from there we can discuss.
How long till you have to do the awakening thing? What's the time frame between now and the awakening song of
And you notice
ritual?
He just lifts his ear up. The song is rapidly approaching its crescendo even. So I imagine 15 minutes at most.
We shall watch and see this wonderful ritual. So we do not want to hold you up. And yes, the payment, I think, is all appreciated.
I was going to say go for it, Lex. Please, apologies.
No, all I was going to say was, given he said you've solved the case, it's made me remember that I have also just solved the case for them elven families that we were trying to find their daughters and their wives, etc. So if I look around, are they anywhere in the vicinity? Have they been reunited with their family? Can I see them?
You would see, as 4 of these elven women sing, they embrace various family members. There looks like one that embraces a father, one that embraces either a brother or a spouse, maybe. Was that a raid?
It was a raid.
Yeah,
Welcome, raiders.
Thank you so much. Welcome, raiders. I didn't see that. I totally missed the symbol there and missed the text, but thank you very much. Amazing. Great to have you here.
Just in time.
Yes. So you see 4 of these elven females singing still, but embracing family members, and there are tears in eyes, but also a great reverence as the family members then step back and almost just sit and let this elvish choir sing and complete the Greenheart Festival. And you then start to notice druids getting closer to the Dryad and almost kneeling in front of her in reverence. What else do we want to do?
Well, I was just going to say, if I did catch the eye of any of those relatives, I would just sort of give a knowing, you're welcome sort of nod, when you do those sort of exchanges visually without having to go over and say anything. As if to say, my part is done, you owe me nothing, you're welcome, sort of thing.
There is a subtle nod from some of them.
I'm going to look to Brom and be like, I'm a little bit concerned simply because the protection that we need, I'm not sure if it could wait till the morning. See, we were actually attacked a night ago in our place of residence by some sort of shadowy creature. Now this, comes as part of this official business that we're here on. Have you heard of any such attacks happening anywhere else in the city? And also, is there a chance that after the festivities, maybe before you head to bed, you come in ward our establishment simply so that we don't get attacked again in the evening?
Interesting. You say you were attacked last night?
Yes, quite violently, actually.
By a shadow creature. And then we have this event this evening. Look, I'm no detective, but even I would assume there is some connection there.
Yeah, I think we're drawing the same conclusions.
Very much
Again,
so.
the what piqued my interest is when you said this song had been, I don't know, found in the shadows and darkness, which makes me think there's a lot going on in the shadows that we need to shine a light on, if you'll excuse the pun.
Something that I'm sure we'll discuss when we get back to the loft. What would that work for you? And have you heard of anything else similar recently, other than obviously the two incidents we've mentioned?
Heard tales of shadow creatures to the west. There were whispers of a village encountering shadow creatures or strange beings in the night.
It is
I'm just gonna look at Jules.
who, for the life of me, cannot fucking remember bloody village. Stonebark, isn't it?
Stonebark.
If it's not to the west, it is now, because it's easier for the story.
It
is to the
it's
west.
To the west.
It is to the west.
I got that one right this time.
We're all good on that one.
Is it actual west or Matt's west? Because they are two different things.
No. It's west.
It's actual west. I suppose you are talking of Stonebark Village?
Aye. It's not too far from here. The base of the mountains to the west.
Yes, it is.
Are you familiar?
I am from there. I left.
That would explain the accent.
I left on the purpose of following an individual who was connected with the current turmoils the village is undergoing, and incidentally it has brought me across the continent and all the way back here. We will be returning to the village, I hope, soon to find out what has happened and to see if we can help. The information that we can find in Dryad's Gate will greatly improve our investigation in connection to those who are connected and possibly the ones causing all of these issues.
Is there a language that
Where
we all
did you
speak
say
that
your-
these... Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Where did you say your office was?
At Gibbons. Gibbons.
Melodious.
Yes. Yeah, my good friend Gibby. We're staying above his shop. I'm sure you've seen his wares. They are the best quality.
Aye. He caters for certain clientele, at least. As Brom looks down towards his hides and furs that are just amalgamated from a creatures that he is clearly given great thanks to, as he is... Thank you so much. And there's follows and subscriptions coming in all over the place, so thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much. But yes, as Brom looks down and sort of almost looks longingly at the furs and the hides that he wears, and there is a connection to nature there that he sort of almost distances himself from the work of Gibbon in a way that is arcane and magical, and there's no real natural connection there, so to speak. Brom then turns and says, "Look, I will have some of the verdant warriors of our guard patrol around the Logiuses this evening. As soon as I am finished, I will head over and provide what protection I can to the building."
That seems very amenable. Thank you. Extra protection temporarily till you can do what you need to. That is great. I am sure you're going to be busy here for the evening.
It is a a long part of the song, but it's worth watching, is all I'll say, if you fancy sticking around.
I would be delighted to see such a wonderful experience.
And it's also worth us sticking around in case anybody tries to sabotage it any further. We can keep our eyes peeled.
Indeed. Well, my friends of the Planar Detective Agency, I thank you once again for your help in, well, freeing our Dryad, the voice of Scylla Ariel, this evening. I will see you later, no doubt, but please enjoy the festival. Don't mind the druid spirits. They mean you absolutely no harm. They are here to renew and re-energize the land around us.
Please, I am sure you have, as you say, work to do. Thank you again, and we will be around. Lex, Edius, Callum, shall we go and get drinks? Watch from afar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Edius, shots?
Oh,
That is a hard pass. I'm going to kibosh that idea right now.
But we had such fun
Be on
last
high
time.
alert.
That's a veto from Lex. That's a strong veto from Lex there, Callum. We'll, you know what? We'll circle back to it next time. I feel like, you look, if we didn't just get our fucking asses nearly burnt to death by some crazy kink man in chains, I think we maybe would consider it. But let's just go have a nice meal. Bit of mead, maybe cider, maybe a little bit of wine, a couple of spirits, bit of beer, and then we'll see where the evening takes us.
Yeah. I like this list. It's growing. Yes, well, celebrate a job well done.
I very much find in these situations, especially after getting my ass handed to me, that some medicinal mead, some of the herbal stuff would be very nice.
I'm a little bit paranoid, I have to be honest. And I see those elven girls came through what seemed to be an astral plane portal. I'm worried there might be other openings elsewhere, so if you don't mind, I just want to see if I can detect anything else. So I'm going to cast Warp Sense, Mr. DM.
Very good. You couldn't wait to get that spell out, could you?
Fucking hell. It's like premature evocation because I've been...
Very good. So describe to me and for everybody at home this spell and then how it appears as well.
Oh, fucking hell, I thought that far ahead. Okay, so I will grab my Mana Stone Runecast as my spellcasting focus now, and you will see my eyes, my pupils will turn to spinning dials or cogs as they go round, and it'll almost be as if I'll be tapping into the equation of the universe. So you'll see that kind of matrix style around me, and then within 30 feet of myself, I can detect the presence of portals, even inactive ones.
It'll
be anticlimactic if the answer is no.
Oh, you dropped that last that mic drop at the end, didn't you?
I love the idea that Lex goes into this spell casting trance state as me, Jewel, and Callum just kind of stand there like, "How's your knee doing? Yeah,
doing Jaeger bomb."
Yeah. Just waiting for Lex to suss out where the portal is.
Yes. There's Jewel literally licking her wounds while you're, proper Batman detective, scanning the area. Oh, I seem to believe that I found something over here.
So I'm just going to...
Oracle, it looks like someone crawled away from this car 2 hours ago.
Come on.
Very good. Where's my phone? Danny, DM's whisper on its way.
Oh, if I do detect one, I have to make a DC save, because then on a successful check I learn the destination plane of the portal, what portal key it requires, and then the spell ends.
Oh shit! Holy fuck! Cracking this bitch wide
I'll
open.
make the check now. Oh, cock and balls! I was one off. It was a DC 15, and I got just missed. Hang on, magical guidance. Magical guidance. That's a magic. Never mind. It was even worse.
Inspiration.
I'll wink at Lex and go, "Hey, relax. You got this, buddy. You got this." And I'll give you bardic inspiration.
It's still not enough, even with the maximum, because that was shit. Go for this anticlimactic part of the show, Matthew.
So you... Yeah, your DM's whisper is now irrelevant.
Well,
I was going to say make you check and do it in the background, but you've done it live on air now. Yeah, no, so just wait.
I can detect one, but I ain't got a fucking clue what it is, essentially.
So you reach out with a newfound magical ability that you just sort of innately feel, and it's almost like you just know you can now check for portals. And you reach out, and something closer to Sil Ariel itself pulls at you, and you try and focus in on that. And whether it's the events of the evening, whether it's the Dryad herself, but something just prevents you from learning more.
I'm picking someone up, guys, but it's not clear. There's too much going on for me to really focus. Sorry.
Well, performance anxiety and all that, we all suffer.
I mean, I suppose not really a surprise. Well, the Dryad is not from this plane.
Nothing usually goes right the first time, Lex. Hey, get yourself back up on that horse, or moose in our case, and you'll get next. Let's come back tomorrow. It'll be quieter tomorrow after the festival. Maybe if we come early in the morning as well, everyone will still be, hungover and stuff. And maybe if we come back, you can try again and see if there's anything tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah, it was more just in case there was somebody lurking, like a portal to the Shadowfell or anything like that. That was my main concern. But,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Let's just enjoy what time we have left in the evening.
Pub before heading back and having a bit of a debrief before we round out the evening, kind of thing. Pub?
Are we going to stay for this crescendo this druid keeps talking about?
Yes. Let us stay. I believe it is going to be quite a spectacle, and I'm sure something that we will not want to forget. So
I'll be honest, I don't think I'll be actually enjoying the show. It'll be more I want to keep an eye on the crowd to make sure there's no nefarious characters.
Absolutely. I'm sure we can do somewhat both.
Yeah.
Edges is going to be like, the harmonies are stunning, but that it could really do with a bit more just a little bit more grunge to it. They're all clean, they're all chest out, standing good posture, smiling while singing. Look at them all smiling while they're singing. Ah, God, singing's not about enjoying it.
I hear you.
I was gonna say exactly. Singing is not about enjoying it. It's about conveying an emotion, and you can see they're just out here enjoying the fact that they're singing. Awful. Just ugh.
Can you not feel the emotion in it, Edgius? It is quite heartwarming. That is
I think what he means is nobody is sticking it to the man, as he would say.
The type of music I think you are quite used to is certainly not something you would find around here.
Yeah. It's to me, this feels like the type of thing you would hear around the holidays with your grandmother as you're making, a big roast meal, that kind of thing.
This is their holiday.
That's true.
See, there we go. See, I'm a detective. What can I tell you?
Ah, yes.
It's
the nail on the head, as they say. DM, is this? Can we drink long enough for a short rest?
Good shout.
I will absolutely allow that, as you are taken by this this song. Even though Edgius describes it as sort of all these high ethereal notes, there is a moment where the druids join in and there are new bassy tones and tenor sort of notes come through, and you start to get a full choral sound that just seems to almost vibrate the very air around you. And as you're drinking, you feel a sense of rejuvenation. I am going to say, whatever you roll to heal, double it.
Can I also, while we're doing this, Edgius is going to use Gibbon's new jacket, and he's going to pull out a dual bongo drum. just start like going in with the bongos and just start kind of but he's taking it very seriously though. He's trying to add something to the moment, and I'm gonna do a song of rest so everyone gets an extra d6 of healing.
I mean,
Make me a performance check with advantage as well.
Power,
I was going to say, I'm an absolute fool.
I don't need to do anything because I didn't take any damage, but can I consider myself not exhausted, Matthew?
Ooh. You've eaten?
Yes.
So you want a performance check with advantage?
I want a performance check with advantage, yes.
Oh, thank God for advantage.
Will aid have run out yet? Because I cast it at dinner time.
No.
Okay.
That is a that's 24.
24. Your drums join in and almost just disappear, but they are still there. They just meld into this song with absolute perfection. You all begin to see the Dryad herself glow with this greenish energy as the song builds and builds and builds and builds. And these lines of green energy just form on her, and you see flowers begin to bloom all over her body. Before that green energy just shoots into the ground and rushes out throughout the whole of the forest and beyond. And for anybody that was outside of Dryad's Gate, they would feel this rush of energy. Trees bloom even more than they already do in these summer months. Flowers begin to grow along the paths, and where saplings had started to grow, or fledgling trees we shall say, they just grow bigger and almost become more substantial in this moment. The buildings that are made out of the trees become more ornate and grow in size. You see, as babies are brought before the Dryad, as this energy whooshes out and green glow settles on them, there are betrothals, marriage ceremonies, all taking place at the exact same time within this grove. There are other forms of ceremony as well. And this energy just washes over. Edgius, your bongos, as you play them, you just feel as these vines wrap around them and turn brass-like as the clasps and the bindings on these bongo drums now have a vine-like pattern to them. And you continue to play into this song.
Yeah, and he's very much like, you know, following the ebbs and flows of the music, but like almost like that scene in freaking Narnia where Mr. Tumnus is playing the flute and Lucy's watching the fire dance. You know, his music is almost hitting that kind of like, in a weird way, like psychedelic, like kind of sound and feel to it, and almost, you know, ethereal kind of vibe as he's almost steel panning these bongos along with it, you know.
You'd find that Jewel is, unlike what she said to Lex, you know, trying to look at the spectacle as well as look out. He's not. She's just enjoying the spectacle. She's just this is the thing that's always happened in that big city nearby where she grew up, and she just wants to watch it.
And Jewel has indeed felt this power before, but this year, this time, there is a force behind it that is unlike anything Jewel has experienced, whether it's the proximity, whether it's the events even, of this evening, but there is a power that just washes through. Who's got the crystal?
I do.
Yep.
Oh, which one?
Star-touched crystal.
Oh.
Where have you put the crystal, Jewel? Is it in the bag?
Yeah, inside the hip satchel.
So your hip satchel, because it's not a bag of holding, just begins to glow. And you feel power radiating out of this satchel. Edgiest, something instinctively... Don't sneeze, Matt. Come on, now is not the time to sneeze.
I'm ready on the mute button.
We're all good. You instinctively look back towards that patch where you had planted the moonflower. And where you had put a little mound and that one seed. Now there blooms this white, radiant flower. And a thin beam of moonlight that shines down on it. You can just see sparkles in this moonlight as well. Make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
That doesn't sound so nice. Jeez.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Yeah, me neither. Jeez. Not at all where I thought that was going. Wisdom. So that's going to be that's a 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You feel almost like your very essence is pulled. Almost like something's tugging against your essence, maybe to try and get your attention. And then it falters, and you just hear within that song, and as you're playing, just a whisper. Thank you.
And Edgius, like, in harmony, will, like, under his breath, sing, I believe.
Nice. As you all look up to the moon, the final thing for this evening, even in its waning phase, there is this radiant halo around the outside, where a full moon would form, giving the moon this strange effect of a radiant circle, and it's almost like, one could argue, almost like a yin and yang symbol, but just that crescent moon effect, and then the radiance around it. And you then head off to the pub. Are you going to the Emerald Echo Tavern again?
Is there a place that's a little bit more like, you know, I'm sure we see the fucking tourists going off to the Emerald crapshoot. What is there any like underground, like a local place that we can see, like, you know, the druids and their like, you know, a place where the locals are going a little bit more, possibly.
So you know there are a couple of other taverns in this area. You know there was the Verdant Goblet Tavern. There was the Dryad's Lament, and there was the Gilded Acorn as well. The Dryad's Lament seems to be the place that most of the locals go to.
We go there.
You guys, you want to lament with some dryads?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say
Also the one
goblin,
that's
which sounds like a
closest.
brothel.
Goblin.
Is that a knob goblin?
So the Dryad's Lament is also the tavern you went to first time, I believe, and they were selling a moonberry brew, a very special brew.
Callum?
Very good.
Callum?
We go there.
Moonberry?
I'm there. Let's
We
go.
go there for sure. Yeah.
Moonberry for you, good sir.
I hope they serve tea.
So as you enter into the Dryad's Lament, it is bustling, it is very busy, and as I described last time, it is this beautiful open concept establishment where you sit on these elevated platforms that are amidst the branches of the trees. So there's hanging vines and sort of these... There's also cascading waterfalls throughout the building that give just this serene atmosphere in here. There are a bardic troupe playing these woodwind instruments, and there's just this no longer a gentle hum of conversation, but there's just a buzz of excitement and celebration in here. The bar is packed, but you manage to fight your way, and you see that dark-haired elf just sort of look to you all. Hello, my friends, I will be with you in... what do you want? Fuck it.
Moonberry,
Moonberry, what
moon
for?
Glaze.
3, and
3?
1 tea, please.
Yeah.
1 tea.
Thank you.
I will double that round for you. This is... it's going to be crazy tonight.
Yes, that would be
That sounds
wonderful. Thank
great.
you.
That sounds great.
2 teas, 6 moonberry brews coming straight up. Find yourself a seat.
Aegis is gonna lean over and go, can you put it on what's the main druid guy who we spoke to? Brom. Put it on Brom's tab. He said he was hooking us up tonight.
Brom? I've not seen Brom in... Oh well. Sure.
Okay. And Aegis will grab his 2 and join the rest at the table.
Very good, and it doesn't take as long as you were expecting, and Seren, as they had introduced themselves previously, sort of rushes over. Hope you're enjoying the festival. There are 2 teas, I'm assuming that's for you and my auntie friend, and then the 6 moonberry brews. Enjoy! You need anything else, then please, you'll have to come back to the bar. I cannot do sort of table service tonight, it is
We would
stupidly
not
crazy
expect it. Please do. Thank you very much.
Enjoy!
Well, everyone.
Callum is going to pick up one of those moonberry brews. Well, here's to the Planar Detective Agency and their first case solved.
Yeah, absolutely.
PDA for life.
Or at least until we die.
We solved 2 cases: the case of the missing girls and the case of the shitty song.
We are far too efficient.
If they're not connected, does that not just make it 1?
No, Callum, for business and marketing purposes, it's 2. It's definitely 2.
You want to ensure that in the future we are getting paid by multiple people for the same job?
That doesn't sound very honest.
It sounds a little bit like extortion now.
Not at all. If both of them wanted resolving, then of course if they're willing to pay, that is fine.
Regardless of the number of cases, we haven't actually got paid, so it's irrelevant.
Yes, we kind of have to work on the fact of actually good business practice of getting paid, but at least we are working on the detective side really well. I think we've got that down hat so far.
Yeah.
Lex, did the maidens' families they were like, just find our kids, and you were like,
and I went,
free
okay.
service.
And I ran off to the rescue. I did not discuss payment options. No.
Well, look, I think it is
cool.
It's very similar to what you both said, extortion for us to ask them for money now. However, possibly if we see them again, we simply say a donation to the detective agencies.
For renovations to the
simply
office.
For, yes, whatever they may or want to provide.
We could set up a GoFundMe scroll that people could sign up to and donate.
I think I heard of something called Boot Begin. So that might be something.
Yeah, I'm
a foot starter or something.
Also, guys, I have a little something that I did earlier that I think might help us out with everything that's going on. And Lex, this actually was your idea that I ended up stealing from you to use. And Aegis is going to pull out his scroll of scrying and slide it into the middle of the table and amongst everyone and go, that's a scroll of scrying. Now, I'm not going to say I've added more debt to our table, but I've added more debt to our table. But, before anyone says anything, relax. We can use this to hopefully find out, maybe, look, like Lex said, I can reverse engineer the, looking at the person who's maybe following me, and maybe we can piece some stuff together. So tonight I was going to do a meditation. Maybe Lex, you can guide me in a meditation as you do it every morning. And we can, I can hold the shard, I can use the scrying, and maybe we can, deduce some things.
Any things that we can find on that edges. Is it worth us all refining all the things that we have? There have been a lot of strands, a lot of mini mysteries. Clearly, what has happened tonight is added to those things that are connected. Let us all think about what is these all connected, where are we going next? We have miraculously found all three of those things, but I do not believe that heading straight back to cure that portal is the wisest of choices, urgent as it is.
Portal can wait. It's broken. It's not gonna. Nothing's gonna change that.
It's far enough away where it'll actually detract from the investigations we need to do here. If we travel all the way back to Mor Stacy and come back, we may miss the opportunity of the goodwill of the people, and we may miss out on some leads here.
Plus, if it gets worse and explodes, we are far enough away that it is not a problem. So,
Well, that is. I'm going to disregard that comment because that is illogical and irrational. But what I was going to say is, it makes, although it is of the utmost importance, and Cog keeps clicking at me to go and fix the portal. I keep explaining it's imperative that we find out what we can here. And we've told the Fae, we've told Dryads that the portal is broken, so they may even be investigating it on their side, and they may be starting some balls in motion. So I think staying here for now. I agree.
I'm down for that. Let me ask you guys some questions, because something just occurred to me. It was something you said earlier, Jewel, that kind of rang true, and you mentioned again a second ago that sparked something in my mind. But aside from that, do we want to? I almost asked Brom earlier, but I wanted to restrain myself and ask you your guys, permission first. At this point, we've got good favor with the Druids, the Dryad. Is it worth us asking about M? Has there been anyone who has gone by the name? Any merchants come through, or any rumors on the mill, or anything like that we could possibly use to our advantage?
I think that's a good idea.
I do believe so. The skeptic in me, or the paranoia, is making me want to decide between, do we ask normal people about this person, but I believe that M is probably connected with higher people, or more precisely, the further up in the structure we go in Dryad's Gate, the more they will know about M. But like I said just now, if they are connected in any way to M and are covering, then that may be an issue. I think that is simply going to have to be a risk we take. Personally, I think asking those higher up will resolve in faster responses. The other thing I can try is hope that they are well documented on any of the powerful individuals who have come through, such as M, at which point checking a book is not going to rat on us. So I may want to see if they have any documentation.
Well, you said somewhat earlier, Edges, about being able to cast like a zone of truth or something, whatever you call it. So anybody we ask questions of, we could make sure they don't lie to us, right?
I mean, look, it's an interrogation tactic that I only really use, or used to use, back in the day when someone is clearly not being. I often don't like.
Right, okay.
Yeah. It's forcing someone to do something against their will, though is sometimes necessary, isn't always.
No, but
you know.
But we could simply ask them. We can say, right, in order to have this conversation, we will all have to be in the zone of truth. Are you willing? Are you accepting of this? If not, we walk away and we do not ask them any further. Therefore,
suspicion is upon them.
Well, suspicion is upon them, but also it may well be that they are simply hiding other things that they wish to keep private. That is fine. So I think we ask them, and then we use zone of truth as long as they agree. As you say, forcing it upon them is quite aggressive. That is not what we want to come across, but we do want to get the right answers.
Let me throw this out there as well. Higher ups, I think, good place to start. Lex, you've worked in the industry before. I know back in Union City, where I came from, I back in the day had a collection, one might say, a gathering of, I guess, what I'd call them urchins, homeless, street folk. And as it turned out, their hearing of whispers, their gathering information, the places that they can be to hear things ended up being a surprising asset in my toolbox that I used to use back in the day. So possibly here in Dryad's Gate, if we can find, people who would hear rumors, talk to them and create a network of these people, that might help us out. Maybe bartenders, they often hear people talking. Like I said, street urchins, buskers, things like that. These are often people around when people are having conversations out in public that we could possibly try and gain some information from. It's just one avenue, though. I agree. The higher up should be our first point of call, but if we're going to make Dryad's Gate our central, hub, then it'd be good to have a network of people here that we can go to and trust for information.
Yes, there is no.
I've heard about this. You mean like informants?
Yes. Yes, exactly. That's that. That feels like a narc word, Like I didn't want to say that, but yes, exactly. In informants, people that can inform us about information. They're not informants, we would never make, but they inform us about stuff. So
our network. That is a much better name for them, I think. I think this is as merit, and possibly we do. Hand over some coin to some of the bartenders, see if they are aware of anything, people that they know, as you say. They will have known who meets who, and, all this stuff.
Also, the elven girls that we rescued, if we think M is also elven, which I believe we know they are, if we could ask them to be our eyes and ears, they might either know of M, or they might, if they come to town, they'll be able to let us know.
It's a great shout. We can get Brom to keep his ears open. Gibbon, I know this wonderful lady. I believe she thinks my name is Dex. She is called L'Oreal, and she's just wonderful. She could be another person, but yeah, I'm happy to begin creating this kind of network while we're here, as well as investigating M. Now, something I wanted to mention that you mentioned earlier, Jules, was it was precarious that in the time that we've known each other, something shadowy has attacked me, has broken had this issue with this tree. Yes. I know that my past and my innate magical abilities come from shadow magic that I gained from an enemy of mine from the past. You mentioned that earlier in your journey, if I remember when we were in Morsterisi, you mentioned that you dealt with some shadowy figures and that M or something might be connected to shadow. Now, I'm saying the word shadows a lot, and that's the point I'm trying to make. It feels like there's something going on with all this shadow shit around us that's happening all the time. I'm not sure if you guys are are feeling that, or putting that
absolutely.
together.
It has been the driving force for us. Well, apart from running for our lives, we ran to the crystalline isle, something like that, in hope to find more information about the shadows who initially killed the person who we have been framed for, and all of that is also interconnected to shadows, people having bad dreams, becoming frail. So very similar to what is happening in my village. We have heard it is potentially still going on.
And your village. That's another one I didn't even add to my list.
So
I literally think fate has brought you into our path, Edges, because the more I think about it, the more everything is interconnected. Your past, our present, our future. All of these side quests, they're all connected to the greater mystery we're trying to solve here.
I mean, I hope for all of our sake that my past has very little to do with this.
I do not believe we are that lucky, Edgius, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I got that feeling from the other night. Edgius is going to take a big swig of his mead at that point, as he, like, in his mind is just like, fuck me, don't let Klein be M. Don't let Klein be fucking M. Somehow, just don't, like, that would be the fucking worst. The absolute worst. As he puts down the wine.
In terms of M, and who we are looking for, the only, correct me if I'm wrong, Lex, the only true fact we have is a diary left near a contraption, again similar to what we believe has been causing some of these issues, and that is from someone called M. We have come to believe that we are looking for Meganora, who was an understudy at the Crystalline Isles, I believe, Lex?
I believe, yeah, she was, actually, wasn't she an understudy of... Fucking hell. The lady
Artemisia Caliniere or whatever.
Yeah. I was saying everything that was nearly that, but wasn't that.
Artemis and, you know.
Yeah.
I was going for all the Greek gods.
Yeah. Atlas god of the sky.
Yeah.
No, it's not that one.
And, and then obviously she was disavowed of her services and has gone on her own way.
In some way, yes, we believe that the understudy of Artemisia was Mayon. And then we found out that actually there is a Meganora, who was of the Crystalline Isles. Okay. This individual left, and again, I may be mixing things up here, but I believe that they were working on the edge of stuff, the Crystalline Isle and those of under the Archmage were slightly unhappy with what they were doing. It makes us believe that they are very much connected. Whether they are the true architects of this or whether they are also just an assistant, we do not know. We do know that there is somebody else connected. Is this not the JS and VS that we also are quite unaware how these also
Okay, so tomorrow when we go
sorry, Edgius. To finalize this, and I understand, especially meeting someone like yourself, it is not impossible for us to have met the same person as Meganora. We believe them to be a female elf, but we met a male individual when we had briefly encountered each other, and so it is either the same person impersonating somebody else, or we do indeed have two people we are looking for. The only reason we are looking for Meganora is we believe that they are the culprit who has killed Artemisia, and he's our greatest lead. Simple as that.
Okay. So tomorrow, when we go out and we ask some questions around the place, we'll bring up anyone named M, anyone named Mayanora. Do you have a physical description, possibly, that we could utilize of what they look like, so we could possibly describe them to the locals?
DM, did we get one from any of the Archmages or anyone from the Crystalline Isles?
Well, here's the question. Are you asking about Mayon or Mayanora? Because you have all seen an individual called Mayon in Thalissa.
Oh, of course we have. The fucking receptionist.
Lex and Jewel have seen Mayon.
Yes, because we tweaked. It was the receptionist. Fucking hell. Yeah, it was the receptionist who then disappeared on the night you were framed for murder.
She was missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the receptionist who simply shortened their name as an alias. Okay. And that the secretary was a dude, as far as we knew. Like visually, are we talking like short hair, like what or are we talking like the long hair, like dresses, like what type of, just so we can describe this or these people to someone.
So the man that we found around this contraption, whatever it was, globe star thing, that was a man, and they were hooded, and I don't think we got much more than that description.
You would have got, make me a history check, please, Jewel. Yeah, so Lex got part of that there.
The hood glows.
Hooked nose.
Like Gonzo from the Muppets.
Oh, okay.
19. Rolled a 14.
19.
Not bad.
So, as you think back to this individual, yes, they were hooded, but you remember all of their robes were black, and there was this greasy black hair that sort of crept out from under the hood.
Snake.
And there was this basically Snape, hooked nose. So yeah, it's very Snape-esque is the best way to describe it.
Do we believe that's V?
Mayanora?
You still have no idea who V is.
Okay, we don't know who that V is. Okay, I'm just trying to align my notes. And yes, Mayanora, or Mayon, because we have all met Mayon.
It was Mayon, yeah. Mayon was the one you were introduced to on the reception desk with a 19, and we'll keep. She was this very, very, very beautiful elven individual with sort of brunette hair that flowed long down her back. She wore this Grecian-inspired dress of red, with enough cleavage on show to entice one of the party members into bed with her. So,
can I ask a question? Just because I'm getting a little bit lost in the source. So the hood dude is someone else. Then there's Mayon, who is the secretary, who is a pretty female who slept with one of the party. Then there's Mayanora, who is the apprentice of Queen Latifah, or whatever her name was. There's four separate fucking people now.
Let's clarify what we know and then what we believe. Yeah. Mayon is the receptionist.
Detective work. Enjoy.
Mayon is the receptionist who we believe was very much entangled in the death of Artemisia. Understudy to Artemisia, and was possibly helping the I can't describe the word, but they framed us, is what we believe. Okay. We have Jewel has had a vision, I believe, that it was actually the hooked-nosed, greasy-haired individual who actually killed Artemisia. But again, that is why we believe that they have a connection.
So all three of these people have something in common.
And we believe Mayon is Mayanora.
I was going to say, because you said three. No, we believe it's two. Mayon and Mayanora are the same person. Mayanora came from the Crystalline Isles, left to Dryad's Gate, I think under a bit of, being expelled from the group. And we then don't know where she went afterwards. They ended up in Thalissa as an understudy to Artemisia, and the hooked-nosed, greasy-haired individual who probably killed Artemisia was also the individual we believe, was underneath a temple in this crypt with the opposite contraption to what Artemisia had, and we Julf saw them and they buggered off and we had to fight. So there are, we believe, only 2 people connected with this, and they probably know each other quite well.
Can I ask, from when Mayanora was disavowed as apprentice and this secretary started, what was the time? Were you told any sort of time frame between when that happened? Because if you believe they're the same person, then they would have had to been disavowed and somehow made their way back in to then falsify this crime, basically.
Pretty much, but again, so Crystalline Isles don't have much power over places like Thalissa. It's quite far away, so I think they could just be a different individual. I believe, and this is one thing that we will probably have to get clarified, is it might be quite a long time. Especially being an elf, it could be 20 years apart, and they could still be a young apprentice, so to speak.
Of course.
I think that actual span, you're absolutely right, is something we definitely need to find out what that is, because I'm not necessarily inclined currently to believe that they went to Dryad's Gate and then to Stonebark, to my village, and then straight to Thalissa. I don't think that's happened. I think it was much longer. The issue an individual, the issues that we have at the moment is who the hell did Jewel follow out of Stonebark? Are they connected? And did I actually follow them to Thalissa to then find that they were then doing the shenanigans that we have then started the campaign on? Yeah.
Okay.
Not quite sure. So yeah.
Okay. There's only one thing for it, guys, and it's my favorite part of any investigation. I'm not sure if you guys are very experienced in this, Lex, having been in the trade, but it's corkboard time. Aegeus excitedly rubs his hands together as the bones grind against one another. Matt, you're muted, by the way.
I think you were, yeah.
That actually worked. Amazing.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, if you go to Owlbear Rodeo, there is a corkboard.
Oh, incredible.
As you were literally saying that, Aegeus, I could see it on my other screen being populated, and I went, what the fuck is that map? Oh!
Oh, it makes sense.
That's fucking sick.
So yes,
for real.
you can add,
can we put shit on there?
You guys can you can throw whatever shit you want on there and use that as your corkboard. That can be your thing. I will say, because we are at an hour and a half, with this point, I'll say for the rest of the evening, you drink, you discuss, and you start to try and form these connections. The fatigue of the day starts to take you, and you think, do you know what, let's head back to Gibbons. Now, as you exit, there are a number of people that sort of thank you, and you are now being recognised amongst some of the population for your escapade of the evening.
Damn right.
You approach back to Gibbons, and you see 2 of these verdant sentinels outside, who just sort of nod and check the area, and then open the door for you, and just sort of motion in. Close the door behind you and seem to be stood guard. Carry on, Joel.
Yeah, so Joel would just go, I assume you are here on Brom's orders?
We are, yes.
Thank you. We appreciate it greatly. And then we'll go inside.
Very good. You head upstairs, you sort of enter through, and you can see Gibbon is... there is a bottle of something open, and a half-drunk glass... and Gibbon in the seat behind his sort of desk, if you like, the reception desk in this, is just...
Can Jewel look around
well
just very,
and truly asleep.
very quickly for, has he written out a bill, a receipt, or anything like it? Not a receipt, but a bill.
Make me a perception check,
for what
please.
the fuck it's going to cost us for these clothes. Jewel is very tired, so that is 11.
11. On the wall next to where Gibbon sits, there is a large envelope with a dagger pinning it to the wall that says PDA on the front.
I'll take it. Go upstairs.
Okay.
Can't really miss that. It's pretty
You
obvious,
taking the
isn't it?
dagger as well, or just the envelope?
Might forget to put the dagger back.
Take the dagger as well. Very good. So you then continue upstairs and then climb the ladder up into the loft, which is still in the same shit state and disarray that you left it in following battle. There are
Sounds
splashes
about right.
of blood and strange sort of black dust here and there. And yes,
Gentlemen,
you all
I
bed
believe,
down for the evening. Carry on.
We should unfortunately take watch just this evening.
Before we go to bed, do we want to do the whole scrying meditation thing tonight, or shall we hit that up another day?
That is up to you, Aegis.
Oh,
Do you have,
after those 2 moonberries, I am feeling loose and ready to tackle this challenge. You guys have got me excited about detecting again. All of this is starting to seem real exciting. So I'm happy to give it a try if everyone else is willing to. I wonder if there's a way where we can all join in on the scry. I wonder if you all touch me and I cast the spell, if we can all visualize what happens.
Perhaps let's try and make sure that you can do it first.
and while we're concentrating on this and helping each other out, although we are arts protection, I still think I should cast my alarm spell just to be doubly sure. So I'll cast alarm on the attic again, like I did last time. It served as well last time.
Very good. So you cast alarm. Callum's just going to sit there and go, Edges, darling, if you want me to touch you, all you have to do is ask.
You sandbagging son of a bitch, Callum. You're a crazy son of a bitch. I tell you that, man. You know. Every day, your presence in this group is delight. We need to get this motherfucker a badge. He is, God.
I'd just like to remind you all that I'm still here.
We do actually need to pick up.
You
that
did
badge.
collect
Good
your
point.
badges. You did collect your badges. I
okay.
said that last week.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, Callum. I know Lex has got shadow shit. Jules got shadow shit. I've got shadow shit. Any shadow shit on your end?
Yes, that's a point. Do you have any shadow baggage?
I don't have shadow baggage. I've got baggage, but maybe I'll tell you about my baggage in the morning.
Sounds good.
It's not
Okay.
related to shadows, but it's kind of related to planes and travel and bridges between worlds.
Could be pertinent.
Edgius will find a place on the ground and will sit very quietly and peacefully on the ground as he, from within his bag, pulls out the scroll of scrying and his otherworldly shard piece, and hold one in each hand. As he opens the scroll, looks to Lex and goes, "Do you wanna like guide me into to meditation here?"
Yeah, I think it might be a simple thing for you to do. You just need to empty your mind
Is that a dig?
for a start.
There was definitely some shade thrown there.
So some more shadow baggage given to Edgius with that one.
Focus on the goal that you want to achieve.
Okay.
And if you tap into the magic that was gifted to you, cursed upon you, and use that as your energy to focus on the spell.
Okay. Edgius is gonna kind of not close any eyes, but is going to, because
can't.
just skull. And he is going to in his mind, close his eyes for what he imagines in his head. As he goes, okay.
Technically, you're still in Mr. T form, so.
Oh yeah, I'll take. No, as soon as we go into the store, Mr. T comes off straight away.
Gone.
Yeah, straight away.
Do you have eyeballs, or was it just the skull? I can't remember.
No eyeballs, just skull. Just skull.
Does it just get darker inside the sockets?
Yeah, it just gets exactly. The shadow gets darker. As everything gets a bit more quiet, Edgius is going to be like, okay, everyone, grab onto my shoulder. I just want to try this.
Okay.
And as everyone grabs on, Edgius is going to take one more deep breath before looking down at the scroll of scrying and reciting the spell's words very slow but melodically. He's going to be like, Hastun Balekor, Hastun Balekor. As he starts kind of getting into this chanting, like meditative state, and is going to try and use the scrying scroll to
So, first things first. Roll me a spellcasting ability check, please. So D20 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Fucking roll good.
Oh. Come on, baby.
Does it get advantage if we're helping?
Oh, yeah. They're all hands-on magic channel.
I'm holding his shoulder in my hand.
I
My
will,
detached
I
shoulder.
will allow it.
Right, let's go.
Technically the help action, I'll allow it. Was that a natty?
Nat 20, baby! Let's go!
Like it's fucking written.
Yeah, nat 20.
Edgius Bones. Who or what are you scrying on?
Above table, I think we probably would have discussed this at the pub. Who, would I want to be looking for my dude or M?
I think it's your dude because you
I
don't
think it's
know
your
them,
dude. You
whereas
know them.
Cool.
You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
We need to give you a much better representation of M first.
Cool. Okay. Cool. It is going to be Klein.
Okay. I will consider that you know Klein well. Very well. What is your saving throw? Spell saving throw, please.
It is a 15.
You focus in on this spell scroll in front of you and feel the power and the guidance of your allies as they grasp onto your shoulders, and your mind's eye just fades to darkness. You sort of float around in that darkness for seconds, but it feels like endless time. You feel the cold chill seep into the bones that make up your very being. And then light begins to form in front of you. Not bright, dappled, shadowed light. Almost as if you are in a cave, or underground, or in a basement or something. You're in a dark location. The figure you see before you is a figure that you almost don't recognize. There are scars that litter the face of this individual. Where there was once hair, there is now this bleached skull that just protrudes out of the top of the flesh. There are bones that show on the arms as you see this robe loosely hanging around this creature. You hear faint murmurings that are difficult to pick up on. Make me a perception check, please.
I'm sweating so much right now. Yes. Come on. That is a dirty 20.
As you focus in, and it's almost as you focus in, you feel yourself get closer to this creature. You hear mutterings in a strange language. Which you do not understand. But it sounds very dark and sinister. It's almost like your viewpoint just rotates around. Carry on.
I was going to say, could I possibly, as a musician who probably has had to spend years learning lyrics to songs and things, could I try and remember like a phrase or something from the language, though I don't know it itself, try and just like retain a phrase of whatever's being said?
Make me a straight wisdom check, please.
$14.
You do manage to catch a phrase that seems to be repeated a few times. And in this sort of strangled tone, this creature speaks out, "Le call ata telondriere."
So Lacol Tolandriel.
Lacol Arter. So Lacol Arter Tel Ondriere. Spell that however you wish. Phonetically, it's fine.
So Lacol Arter, and then the last two, sorry.
Tel Ondriere.
Fuck. Okay. Cool. Yep. I'll memory bank that, and I'll keep kind of observing as much as I can of the surroundings, who he's maybe talking to, just anything that I can perceive of the area himself, anything like that.
As you focus beyond the creature now, and you sort of rotate, your view rotates in front of the creature, almost like a camera just moving. You see that they are leant over this altar of sorts with a black cloth draped over it and various arcane, not artifacts, but arcane materials. There is a purple candle that burns with a deep purple flame. There is what looks like an onyx skull placed in the center of this altar. And their hands, one of which is missing the flesh on the fingers and is just pure bone, with an onyx ring set onto it as well, are just placed on this altar as they speak this dark language towards it. Your focus zooms out even more and you sort of try to pay attention to the area surrounding them, and it is littered with bodies, but not humanoid bodies. There are bodies of small animals and small creatures. There is also what looks like a cage in a corner. And as you pay attention to that cage, you make me a perception check into the cage, please.
God damn you, Matt. That is going to be a 16, I believe.
16. You see a small bipedal creature. 2 arms, 2 legs that are encased in this brown, scaly flesh with these spines that just travel down the back. And this head with these sharp pointed ears culminates in this single glowing green eye above its mouth. You hear no words from this creature, but just a snapping sound and a shuffling sound. It is at this moment that the individual you have been scrying on stops their chanting and just turns to the cage.
Do be quiet, Jane. Your dabbling got you to this stage of your life. Now shut it.
And it's with that the spell just begins to fade and you can feel yourself just creeping away.
As I'm creeping away, I want to try one final thing.
Go for it.
Can I try and just not make contact, but like almost through the magic, like almost just I'll say a phrase that I said to Klein once the first time I captured him and put him in prison, which is just the money was less worth than your justice. And I'll try and like pass that arcanically as much as I can to him as I'm being like pulled away from this scene.
Make me a spellcasting ability check, please, but add your charisma bonus on top again, please.
Oh, okay, son. Okay. So, and you want my charisma on top of that as well. Golly. So that's 20 plus charisma. So that's a 24.
With a 24, as you almost whisper this into the ether, and you can hear it echo around the room. And this creature's head just snaps up. Your vision just pans round to the face. And you stare into a face that you had once faced off against, stared into eyes, and dealt what you thought was a final blow. And as you stare into those eyes, you see that one is this milky white colour of a humanoid eyeball, and the other one is a very dark coloured gemstone, similar to a gemstone you have in your possession. and the spell fades. And that, my friends, is where we are going to take our short break.
Oh boy. Nothing like a mid
I think there
cliffhanger.
was a lot to unpack there for folks. There was a lot of notes being taken, I could see that. So, our giveaway for today is those 3 PDFs from the Eldritch Press. I will just pull up the details again just to describe them all so I don't get it wrong. So the 3 PDFs up for grabs are titles from the Eldritch Press, one of which is called The Whispering Fen, the other one is called Captain Shineheart's Gold, and the final one is The Gates of the Shadow Mage. They are all up for grabs to one lucky winner tonight. The question that I need you to answer is, what is one of the names of the individual that the party, the Planar Detective Agency, are currently seeking? What is the one of the names used tonight of the individuals that the Planar Detective Agency are currently seeking? Now, there's a couple of options I will allow as an answer to that, but yes, may the best and fastest individual win. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back here in a few minutes, but thank you for joining us for the first half. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for the likes, the follows, the subscriptions. It's been an amazing first half. We'll be back in a few. Hello.
Hello.
We are back. So first things first, competition, because this week we have a winner. And Data, I'm very, 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 very pleased to finally let you have this one. So I will contact you on Discord to get a few details so that we can wing those PDFs straight over to you. So congratulations. The answer was indeed Mayon or Mayonora. But I would have accepted Klein, I would have accepted VS, JS, any of those would have counted as an answer.
You could have just said some letters of the alphabet and been incorrect.
I was wondering whether he was going to take Snape as an answer, to be honest.
No, absolutely not. I think I'd have banned them for that one.
Data,
I love that now.
Your notes are better than ours, whatever you have done. Well, mine, can't speak for the others. Danny's pretty good at it. I'm good at writing notes. I just can't remember what page the pertinent information is on when I need it. That's why there's a search feature in OneNote. Because
Can you ever search this?
Mate, I'm exactly in the same place, and mine looks like a crazy man's spider web in the bottom down there.
That's a little way off Beautiful Mind, that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I always do the thing where I say I'm going to type them up afterwards, and then I never get round to it, and I've gone too far now. I need Deirdre, who we met last week, to type them up for me.
Oh, Deirdre.
We need some AI, what is it? Not translation.
OCR.
Well, not even OCR, just something listening to the stream and can then translate everything into notes.
To be fair,
and sort
though,
of,
I tried to scan them.
here's
on
the
my
key
phone
points from the session.
And then turn them into text, but my handwriting is that bad that no software can understand what the fuck I've written.
You should be a doctor, mate, with that handwriting. I mean, I can't talk.
No, I certainly can't talk.
Also, a lot of the notes are words that Matt has made up, so obviously my phone ain't going to know what they are either.
I mean, Dungeons and Dragons is official words, mate. There's only one way to spell dungeons in the English language and one way to spell dragons.
I mean, I've spelled Mayonora like how Data has. You've spelled it with different consonants and vowels.
He's made up his own consonant for half of these, I think.
Yeah.
Very good. So, having exited out of this scrying session, Edgius, you, I'm going to say, feel a deep sense of cold. And just as you exit out of the scry, whether it's through the source of the magic or something else, again, you hear the sound of water flowing. A river, maybe, and this slapping on the water. Almost like oars. And you're back in the room with your allies.
One thing that I'd like to do retroactively for flavor. The moment I went into the scry, like shadowy smoke and like almost like heat haze began kind of like almost like venom, like symbiote tendriling out of my body and kind of like growing in front of you guys as I'm kind of going deeper and deeper into this space that I am in when I'm in this spell. As I wake up, Edius is gonna be like, oh, he's alive. He's alive. Holy fuck. Oh.
What did you see?
Point of clarification is you do not feel Jules' hand on you anymore. The second that addition happened, she's like, I'm out.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Edgius is gonna like just kind of rotate round and look at you guys before like kind of just laying back on the hard wooden floor of the loft and just being like, oh my god. That was freaking intense. I didn't realize that was going to be so intense.
I am afraid, Edius, we did not come with you, as it may be the best way of describing it. What happened? Are you okay?
You need to tell us everything you saw.
Okay, so it started with me in this dark place, and I'll just relay everything that Matt, you described to me. The fact that it was in the dark location, that this disfigured person was, at this altar, his one eye, off-colored and like almost like a white-filled, while the other one was a crystal similar to my gem. The purple candle on the altar with the onyx skull. The animal bodies and creatures, the cage that contained some sort of weird brown scaly creature with a single green eye called Jane, and that he was muttering some sort of other language that I've never heard of, and he said "Local alter tel Andriel" or something along those lines.
Does Joel recognize any of that?
What are you trying to recognise there?
Sorry.
The language.
Yeah, the language, sorry. Common, Elvish, Halfling, and Thieves' Cant, so I'm guessing not.
Nope.
Ooh.
Cool.
Ooh, I've got Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Modron, and Primordial.
Oh.
Curveballs in there.
Oh,
bitchin'.
those are good ones.
No.
Oh, fucking hell. You fucking teased me a little bit there.
However,
Edges will end all of that with the person who I saw, though heavily disfigured, was undoubtedly the gentleman who gave me my magical abilities during our combat that I mentioned to you in the woods.
that answers one of the questions I was about to ask. The other one.
Yeah.
Can you confirm that you said that the individual in the cage was called Jane?
Well, I'm not 100% sure because there was some sort of interference or something. But as far as I could tell, yes, there was some sort of brown, scaly creature with like sharp spine region that had a single like green eye, and the figure called them Jane and told them to shut it as they, that their actions had brought them here themselves, almost to get over it kind of thing.
Yes, you said initially something along that dabbling with shadows has brought them here or something.
Yeah,
It was something along those lines. Yes.
Exactly. So I don't know. I have to tell you guys that this is bad. Like this is really, really bad, because if he's still alive, I killed him. You don't understand. Last time I saw him, I killed him. Like I watched him with my eyes die. And if he's still out there and he knows anything about where I am or where we are, then we are in severe trouble. It took me a year of preparation to do what I did to him last time. The plotting and planning and orchestrating to get him into the right place at the right time. The power that he wields. The reason that I, as a detective last time, was chasing him was he's literally nicknamed the King Killer. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm scared.
I can understand that, Elias. We all are, especially as the fact that I'm afraid we have to confirm that your past does connect to our quest.
Your past and our present are intertwined.
We are not necessarily looking for this individual, but we were also aware of a Jane. Is it?
You know the Jane creature?
No, we do not. We know of Jill very quickly goes through sort of her notes, and she goes, we know of a JS and a VS. They were also connected to the book that this greasy-haired individual had. We believe that one of them, Jane, well, yes, that is all we know. Literally, that it. But it cannot be a coincidence, Aegeus. I do not believe in them anymore.
This has to be our. That can't be our. We have to. That has to be our last resort. If we're like, there's got to be other ways. We can find out who this M person is in other ways. We don't have to go after this person. Like, to tell me we don't have to go after this person.
No, Aegeus, we do not, and we do not want to. The description you have given, the King Killer, no. We are absolutely not seeking out these individuals. Hopefully, their connection to M is light. Tell me, Aegeus, I know this is the first time you've done this. You do not know in your scrying how far they are from here? Is not something you are given for this? Forgive me, as you know, I am very anti-magic. I do not know any of the rules of any of these things.
Above table, GM, did I get any distance, anything from that? Or like anything of like time of almost me casting the spell to me seeing the scene that could possibly be taken to a wizard to do some actual science reverse shit and work out like the projection of magic versus velocity or some shit?
The latter, you would have to go ask a wizard. But the former, because you were in this dark space, getting an idea of the time or location
was hard.
Very difficult.
Okay.
I think, if he is that powerful, we should not approach him or try and find him. But could you ascertain was he surrounded by shadow creatures in your vision?
I mean, not shadow creatures as such, but there were creatures. There were bodies of many creatures around him. They're not humanoid in nature, but they were small, like animals and other things that I did not recognize. Things like, there was rodents, there was small amphibians and things like that. But then there was things with many legs and and eyes, and what looked like sacks, creatures that I've never before seen in my many years of life, afterlife, and travel.
Do you think like sacrifices or experiments, would you say?
It seemed like some sort of ritual was being cast. My guess would be sacrifices, but experiments of if he's toiling with untapped magic like he was last time, then who knows the degree of things that he could be working on. I'm sorry that I brought this to you guys. I should get away from you guys as quickly as possible if he's going to hunt me. I'm sorry.
You should not, Edgius. As you say, as Lex said, I believe this is the better workings of fate. And well, you're currently working with two wanted individuals for the murder of a high archmage in Thalissa. We did not do it, but that is who you are going, in the streets with. Look, we all have our baggage. So, can I ask you? You said you spent about a year following this individual, the King Killer. How long ago was this?
The year started about 31 years ago, and then 30 years ago to the day, almost he we fought on. Where did we fight? I imagined in my head some sort of like open area that we would have had this larger kind of grand battle. Do I remember the location of where that battle happened that I could look at on the map quickly?
So as per previous discussions amongst the group, this had happened to the east. We've not necessarily pinpointed an exact location in NOF yet, but you had said to the east.
And you had previously told us when you had been transformed, as it was.
Yeah.
Was
it was
before
in
or after this?
Thing of ice. When I woke up as a skeleton in this like almost crater of ice around me. That was after our battle, so 31 years ago is when I started my deep research and my plan. I had been following him, though, for 5 years prior to that. The plan, I spent 5 years doing other jobs at the same time while he was kind of my main focus in the background. Then, over time, I managed to gain enough information about him, his weaknesses, his affiliates, his consigliaries, his various alliances and people he knew, to eventually gain enough knowledge to be able to not trap him but lure him into a trap at the time, or so I thought I was trapping him, but I was
this individual
mistaken.
With a name such as you have given him, presumably well enough known they may well have been documented, and their apparent downfall, potentially documented? I'm not asking you if you know, but just as an idea, as an assumption, do you believe they may?
100%. Everyone, at least from where I think I came from in the East, when I knew him, he was notorious, like, criminals of old, they like arch, evil, the grandest of evils, he lurked in the shadows, but people spoke his name. Some followed and agreed with the crimes he would commit, where others, like myself, saw them for what they really were. greed and selfishness.
Does the name the Conclave mean anything to you?
Does the Conclave mean anything to me?
Make me a history check. While you're doing that, Jewel, I also want you to make me a history check given the description of the creature in the cage.
Okay, cool. Yeah. History check.
That is a 22 as well over here.
Okay, come on.
Come on, baby.
I mean,
the Conclave as a name, Aegeus, is not something specifically. However, the Void Conclave was a term linked to the crime syndicate that Planar ran.
Fuck's sake. There's so many links being drawn right now. We're connecting many pieces of the puzzle.
Before you carry on, Aegeus, sorry, Jewel, your history check.
Go for it.
I'll call you on your 22 with a 22.
Yes.
Given that description, and the fact that you've been revisiting your memories of a particular room a few weeks ago when you saw the dark orrery and this individual in this black cloak, as you were checking out certain books, you do now distinctly remember a small cage in a corner of the room with a creature with claws and spines and this singular glowing green eye. There you go.
Yeah. I now remember that shit.
Danny's got the hand on head, just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's all kicking off.
Fucking hell.
The Conclave.
The Conclave, yes. No, but yes. In like many things in life, it's a little bit more gray than that. Well, this gentleman, the person that I'm talking about, who, his name is Klein, by the way, or that was one of his many names back when I knew him. He led a crime syndicate that was often referred to as the Void Conclave. I'm not sure if the two are linked.
Well, the reason I ask is there was a apparently long gone evil mage organization called the Conclave who were dealing with, I believe, shadow magic, blood magic, that sort of thing, and magical types. So I was wondering whether Klein could be involved and linked.
Those words, if I were to describe what the Void Conclave was, would have been exactly what I would have used. So I would say it's safe to assume that they are probably the same entity, or at least related, or maybe names and whatnot has been lost to some time. But from your rumors and what I know, Klein surrounded himself with nothing but the most powerful. His goal was chaos and power, and from what you described there, it sounds very much like a similar entity.
Jewel comes out of a bit of a rhetoric while she's been staring at her notes, and she goes, yes, the crystalline circle spoke of this conclave. They believe they were defeated. They were part of the crystalline circle at one point, I believe. Splintered off and believed to have been defeated. I cannot remember when this was, but it seems like it still fits. Yes, they tried to dominate and control with the power that they were getting. Summoning more power from their surroundings just to gain and future their goals.
like draining power from portals, for example.
Portals and people, individuals, souls, the greatest, power of this old world. Lex, I know you may not have entered too much. Can you remember the dark orrery and the room it was in, where we met that male individual?
Yeah.
The description Aegeus gave me. There was a creature, very similar to how you described it, Aegeus, in a cage, in the corner of the room, that we did not want to go anywhere near.
And this.
And that. Oh shit. Go on.
No, and this was at the Dark Orrery. Was that at the Crystal Place? Where was that?
No, sorry. This was in Thalissa. It was beneath one of the temples. The Dark Orrery was almost the opposite, or the negative of the contraptions that Artemisia had, and they were, to be clear, there was a senior Alchemist at the Hylantha Lyceum, a very magical, learned location, very, large teaching facility, research facility as well. Yes, I mean, it was just a creature, but, well, having met these dark individuals and shadow individuals for the first time, it unfortunately is sticking in my memory. It is only your description that has brought it back.
I'm just trying to, just breathe. It sounds like, we're two jobs in. That's actually only one, as Callum previously mentioned, and now we want to go for the big kahuna. It feels like we're. I'm just
It is good, Aegeus.
I don't think we're quite there yet, but I do believe that the great equation has brought us together, because I think if the creature in that cage is the same as the creature you just saw, I think the hook-nosed individual may be working for Klein, and he may be setting up a new syndicate. But we're definitely not going to look for Klein right now. We're not ready for that. But
okay.
Callum will walk over to Aegeus and just place two calming hands on your shoulders and just sort of give you the shoulder rub, which doesn't quite work because there's no muscles there, but just sort of there's pressure against your shoulder blades and your clavicles. And Callum's just there like, calm down, darling. It's fine.
Amazingly,
calm
Aegeus.
Emotions when we leveled up.
This is actually good news, because in one day we have come from trying to find any information to finding that all of it is connected. This is actually an help. This is a good thing. As much as it may feel rather overwhelming, and I am certainly not far from feeling it so, one step at a time, but at least we know that I doubt we can get distracted if we follow any of these threads. We will find, forgive the metaphor, but we shall find the spider in the center of it.
Yeah. You guys are right. You guys, I don't know, I don't know.
I think I had a very similar response than you are having when I came back. It is rather overwhelming.
Yeah. I appreciate all of you a lot. You guys are the best of friends. Thanks for. I feel a little bit better.
Perhaps we should rest for the evening. I am going to take first watch if it is okay. I have some parchment, and I'm going to try and just put all of the names down that we all know, and I shall try and to connect them. and you can expand upon it once it is your watch. How about this? We shall put down names, places, any of those connections. Let us put this in the ways that we can find.
Aegeus, mood shifting ever so slightly as he tries to distract himself from the moment and kind of put himself in a better headspace before they turn in for the night. Goes, well, at least there's a box of yarn up here and wool. Thanks to Gibby and us here in the loft, and he's going to point at just a box of different colored yarns and stuff that's in the corner for
I have
for
to
us
admit,
to use on the
I was
board.
eyeing up that gold threaded one. I think that was well, maybe that'll end up with
You'd
our bill.
also notice a box of discarded pins as well.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do.
Where were those caltrops when we needed them?
Would they have worked on the shadow creature?
No. Speaking of which, can Jewel open the letter now that she suddenly reminded herself of it, and find out just how much we're going to have to raise for this shit?
Yes. So, as you open the letter, you see what looks like a list, bill of materials almost.
Oh fuck, an invoice
from Aegeus, which starts at sort of Reuben board and then moves down through the various items, and at the bottom.
It's not a fucking
there is
holiday,
a
Gibby. Calm down.
The little double shot of vodka you took from the drinks fridge from the minibar.
The minibar cost.
It's mainly
Porn channels.
use of the attic and the items of clothing that you've been given, so to speak. And the total at the bottom has been scratched out a couple of times. You can see it looks like it starts at 3,000, then it's scratched out, and then there's sort of 2,000, and then it's scratched out again, and then there's a little footnote that says they help the druids, so 1,500.
Oh fucking hell! I've got 660 max in my pocket.
Jewel is a really shit rogue at the moment because she has 25 gold.
Come on.
Aegeus has 9 gold
silver
pieces
plates.
in his shoe compartment that he has. That's it.
I do have some ancient
Wedged
coins.
between them,
I don't know what the fuck they do or what they are. But we could give them them and pretend they're really valuable.
I think we are going to be possibly in Dryad Gate for. Let us not point too fine a restriction on it, but let's say possibly a week. We need to get the office up and sorted, find information, and let's try in that time to raise some funds. We are going to need it for our travels, nonetheless.
I'll put this down as a down payment, and I've got 55 platinum. Which obviously I can't spend at local shops because nobody's going to have change, are they? I can't even remember how I acquired it, Aegeus, to be honest. I don't even know why I've got it. But yeah, I'm going to put that £55 platinum down, which is essentially, 550 gold?
550, yeah.
550 gold, yeah.
And then I'll put down payment next to it. Or installment 1, I'll put next to it.
Yeah.
Installment 1.
So you creep down and we'll say you plant that there and sort of say installment 1. And then retreat back up.
Did that... do you know what? Aegeus is going to look at Cog and be like, is that part of his weird backstory thing that you didn't tell him about too? Where'd he get the fucking money, Cog? Where'd he get the money?
Oh, no, we actually... Matt, I think we liberated it from the temple, is it? When
you did. When you went to the
life.
Forgotten Temple and tried to heal Jewel, you found a temple treasure room which contained an absolute shit ton of stuff.
I Indiana Jones did.
Cog, I don't speak whatever. And Aegeus is going to start doing the robot in front of Cog.
Hey, you want to be careful. What you just said there is actually quite offensive to Mardrans. You actually inadvertently said a racial slur.
Oh, shit! Cog, I did not mean that. You're a good guy, Cog. We're cool now, Cog. We're cool.
You start dancing the robot, and you see Cog just drop one of his wings and just spin it around.
Pretty much a middle finger.
yeah, a big fan. Look, okay, so tomorrow then, or at least the next week, let's connect some more of these pieces, get a bit more on Mayanor, VS, and Jane, possibly. And then we will, in the meantime, try and make some money. And from there, we'll I guess, make our way. I know, Jewel, you mentioned wanting to go back to your village as it's close by. Do we want to do that and then make our way back to More Tasty?
Yes,
later down the road.
We should stay here until we have the information we believe we have here. Head west, if it is all the same with you, and then there is quite the trade route we can follow that will get us along the lines. Bigger boats, thankfully. Back to More Stacy, where we can resolve this. Perhaps even we can send a missive, something towards More Stacy to say we have all but completed it and we will be returning as fast as possible. At least that will make it there before we do and allow them a little more comfort. Perhaps, and this is something we may want to put in there, that they may want to commit a couple members of the guard to go out and keep anyone away from it. I think that is quite important because otherwise it could get worse. There could be additional people trying to get through and it could all be very bad. If they have not done that, I will find it very suspicious. You know what I mean? I think we should suggest it for one, the safety of the general public of More Stacy and the area, and also, well, as a bit of a test, because as we know, they were not being their most crucial self, and I for one would like to put them through their paces.
Okay, that's Lex Callum. Have you guys got anything that you want to add? And before we start,
did say we wanted to try and I want to visit the Elven girls and see if they're willing to be our information gatherers or eyes and ears in Dryad's cave while I'm not here.
Yeah, start building the network. Start making the network.
Yeah.
Callum, anything
my priority is going to be that Feywild portal, but it sounds like that's on the plan.
It is indeed.
Especially as there was a murdered Feylord outside it, I think. We have a duty to...
Callum. Dude, you're part of the detective agency now. Your priorities are our priorities. Look, we're getting to the portal, but we've got some other shit that we need to deal with. You need to put some stuff aside. We're all putting stuff aside right now, Callum. And you need to focus on the objective here, man. We're ideas people, and we thrive off enthusiasm right now. And you're over here talking about the portal that we're going to in, as Jules said, a week's time? We got other shit. Do you have anything? What are you doing over the next couple days? Because all of us were like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take care of some of that. What's on Callum's agenda?
I have some things to take care of. I probably will go have a conversation with the druids, but I will fill my time. Don't you worry.
Like we have said, Callum, it is very much on our list. We are just trying to be as sensible with our direction. While we are here, it is silly for us to not try and sort other things out. As I'm sure, Regius, you were trying to say in your own very tired way.
Yeah, I can assure you, the portal being healed and closed is a priority for me too. I'm just tackling each priority in a logical order.
That is a good point, Lex. Obviously, your book spoke of this healing method. what is it, a ritual? Some sort of thing you have to do? Is it all in this book, or do you need any more information? I know we have the 3 ingredients.
Well, what I'll do during our downtime and on our travels, I will study the book to try and then memorize and become familiar with the ritual that I need to perform. So then, when the time comes, I can act quickly.
Very good. That sounds wonderful. I unfortunately cannot help you in any way in any of this, so I am glad you have it under your skill set.
Callum, I'll tell you something that I do want to do with you over the next couple of days, just so we can keep sharp, because it seems like every fucking time we turn a corner, someone wants to jump my ass. Can we spar some more like we did the other day?
By all means, darling.
Cool.
I must admit I've not swung the old dagger in a while, but
speaking of this,
few fights at least.
Is there anyone who would find this short sword useful? Callum, it is the one we rescued from the portal. I feel I am not particularly able to utilize it at best. And she shows out the defender short sword.
I can use a sword, but anybody else is welcome to it.
What does it like? What does it do other than chop, stab, slice, kill, murder?
I have found that this will increase the ability of me being able to block incoming strikes slightly more. So yes, very useful. But well, like I said, I have simply struggled to use it. It is, I don't think, the right weapon for me.
Well, I've been doing sword play for a very long time. I feel like I'm pretty apt. Lex, I'm not sure. I haven't seen you get into any sort of melees as of recently.
I've got a crossbow in here that I very rarely use. I'm more of a quarterstaff kind of guy. If I had to choose a melee weapon, but I'll stick to staying far away and shoot stuff from my hands as best I can.
I was going to say as maybe a backup, to keep on your back or something, is just a, last resort kind of situation, as it gives you a chance to, as Jules said, increase your chance of blocking things. It means less skill needed to try and parry and stab, but instead simply defend yourself might be, if someone does get too close to you, maybe something to consider.
Speaking above the table, it does require attunement, and it's got a +3 bonus.
No, I don't want
it. It's also a sword, which Lex is not proficient in. Yeah. So you would have to spend downtime becoming proficient with a sword.
Unless it's a butter knife, I can't use it.
Down to Edgius if they are really good at using swords, or it's going to Callum.
Callum. Let's play cannonball, crossblades, and parchment for it, shall we?
Now, I watched you and Cavan do this. Are we going on 3 or after 3?
I like to go 1, 2, 3, fire, and then at that point we hit it. So it's like 3, 2, 1, fire, and then on fire we do it.
Okay, you ready?
Yes. 3,
1, 2, 3,
fire! Oh shit. Okay.
Well, with scissors.
Again?
Again.
1,
3,
2,
1,
fire! Okay,
shit.
this is not working. This is one more. Things come in threes.
So I'm told, darling.
3, 2, 1, fire!
I'm not sure I understood the game, if I'm totally
unlikely to happen. What just happened there?
I think that is like a 1 in 64 chance.
Edius,
do you know what we
put
should
it
do?
this way.
What?
I'm better with my distance sort of force energy. You've already got a rapier. Maybe this will be an upgrade.
I was going to say, why don't we share it? You know, in combat, we can throw it to one another. It'd be, that'd be pretty badass.
It would only be useful to one of you.
I mean, if
it's...
yes, it requires that connection with the blade, and I think, given your history, maybe...
you got to, like, sleep with the sword or something first.
It wants to...
it
wants to protect you.
Not in a sexual way, like, next to it, guys. Get come on.
Or we could use it as payment to give it.
Ooh.
If nobody wants it.
Well, that is up to you. I am happy to get its gold value if no one is going to get use out of it here.
Above table, so it's a +3 bonus to attacks. Is that what it is?
It's a +3 bonus.
It is a +3 weapon.
Yep. And then you can basically convert any of that plus to your AC. So, for instance, it would become a +1 sword, and you would put +2 to your AC. Right, during one round, and it works for your whole round. And obviously, during that time, it's only a +1. If you're going to react and attack of opportunity. Basically, I was just I'm struggling to use it, and it was nice a bit, but basically, I've actually ran out of attunement slots, and other things are better than this for Jewel.
Callum also can't use a sword. You've never seen him use a sword, so...
So it's Edgius or Coin, and I don't mind which one. I'm not overly connected to it.
Okay. You twisted my very skinny arm. I'll take the sword. And Edgius is actually going to go over to a rack that's like up against the wall with, it has, some cloths kind of stuffed into it, like fabric wraps, basically like stuffed into it. And he's going to pull the fabric wraps out and like place them on the ground. He's going to remove from his side the pan flute rapier that he keeps on him, and he's just going to hang it on there, creating our first weapon rack in the HQ.
Ooh, we've got armory.
And he will then put the sword in kind of attach the scabbard to the inside of his lute, so that while he's playing his lute, it would sit behind the neck of the lute, and while he wears it on his back, he can grab it diagonally from his back to use, basically.
Well, if you want to pop a defender short sword into your inventory, I'll take it out of mine.
Nice.
That is sexy. Okay, cool. And we got a weapon rack started. Let's get it.
Jewel will also put the dagger that he just got from from Gibbon, and also put it up there as well.
Has this sword been described in terms of looks? What the actual sword styling is?
Not in any major detail.
As an absolute slut, can it be a katana? Because I absolutely just would absolutely love this to be a katana, if that would be possible.
We will say, because as Jewel properly attuned to this weapon, it took on a form that would be of most benefit to Jewel at the time. You spend some time with this defender short sword, and it becomes... a defender, still for the sake of it, a short sword, but takes on the form of a thin, almost straight blade, but with just the faintest of curves, and takes on that katana form. Because it's just style. No one cares. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Edgius boner, I think is
Edgius will be like, well, damn, over the next couple of days, he's gonna fall in love with that sword a little bit. I think it's gonna be something that he grows to appreciate more and more over the next couple of days, for sure.
Very good. Okay, so are we now bedding down for the evening?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Jewel, you said you're going to take first watch.
and it is very mixed between, keeping an eye on the room, hearing any type of noise, but won't go outside, will stay and try and use that sort of time to create the, sort of, there's some parchment shears up here, and she'll, cut out bits of parchment, start writing names on it, maybe even, drawings of each individual we are aware of, and trying to just put them all up onto an area, maybe a piece of wood or something.
I did do my alarm spell, just in case.
Yeah. You did indeed. So as you all bed down and Jewel, you go to take your watch, Callum is just going to look at you. I'll take next watch, darling. Figured you've all done quite
I shall
enough
wake
for
you when
tonight.
I'm tired as this.
Final
good.
thing before I go to bed. Edgius is going to pull out the scroll that he got from L'Oreal, that is the Misty Step learning scroll, and he's going to recite the words a couple times before he goes to bed. Then grab his seeds, disassemble himself, and put himself in a corner somewhere.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Jewel.
Yes.
You continue to make this corkboard and start to stretch lines of string and this gold sort of thread that you've picked up, and start to connect these little parchment notes that you're making. Make me a perception check, please.
Yep.
Nothing is there, so you don't have to worry.
That's fine. I'm just making sure that I've got all my pieces of parchment. I think I'm a little distracted with my homework. 'Cause that's a natural one.
Oh, fucking hell, Dave. That was the wrong time
You
to pull
are
that out.
zoned in
Very much
onto
the wrong
this, just
time.
and you just stand up and
Proper Sherlocking it at this point.
yes, and you are deep in this corkboard. Eventually, you feel your eyes begin to just droop, and you start to sort of shake your head, and you realise you've connected something. You're just like, no, that was meant to go up there, and probably time for you to go to bed at this point.
And I swap out for Callum. Yeah.
Okay. Callum takes his watch. Unbeknownst to you all, at one point he just sneaks out through the trapdoor and steps outside and
That
goes
conniving
to
bastard.
the
You better
two
not.
verdant sentinels. I'll just be a minute, my darlings. They're all fine up there. You're doing a sterling job, thank you. And he takes a short walk. Beyond the actual walls of the city. And then just holds out his arm and speaks a word in Sylvan as Valeria, the white eagle, appears on his arm. It's almost done. I need you to go and send a message. We'll be returning in a week, and what needs to be done will be done. And I want him back. That's it, I guess. Just, yes, take that message. And just throws Valeria up into the air. And then he turns and wanders back to the tailors, and sort of looks around, does his half-arsed effort at keeping a distracted eye on things.
I forgot to say Callum didn't set the alarm off. No, I'm joking. He wouldn't set the alarm off.
Callum just wanders back in the morning. The morning is the time. And he creeps back inside, sort of nods to the verdant sentinels again, and wanders back up the ladder through the trapdoor, closes it, and then just sits in the morning. And that, my friends, is where we are going to leave episode.
He better not be trying to fuck us. He better be a good
Malt and Magic Campaign 2.
Dude, he's about to sell us for something.
No.
Did you not hear him? He's fucking selling us for something for sure. Oh,
or he's just
fuck,
spying on us
dude.
for the elders.
Spying on us, selling us out, or this is the non-pessimistic side. Someone has got like someone else hostage, and so that, you know what I mean? Like he's being forced to do something.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I imagine. I think someone important to Callum has been captured. He is basically being like, I'm giving you whatever you need, which is fixing this portal, sticking with us, whatever bullshit game he's playing with us. That's we're the fucking.
but
fuel to
regardless,
this
and I don't think
Chopping his
it's
dick
Callum.
off.
I don't think it's Callum, but I think there is something malevolent behind it. You know, not good. Anyway, you little bugger,
Very
Matt.
good. Well, I
Motherfucker.
like to give people things to think about. So there we go. What a great episode 37, following on from an awesome Halloween episode as well. We hope you've all enjoyed that. Thank you again for the raid earlier. Thank you for the follows, for the subscriptions. Congratulations, Data, on winning the competition. But most importantly of all, thank you to my players who have been beyond awesome tonight. Fantastic RP episode with some really important lore points dropped there, so we will start to connect the dots and we will start to see things happen over the time. We might do a couple of time skips now just to speed things on a little bit and not just sort of stagnate while we're here in Dryad's Gate, so we will discuss that behind the scenes and you will see everything play out next week. Thank you for all the love and support this evening. It is so much appreciated, whether you are watching on Twitch, YouTube, whether that's after the fact on YouTube as well, or whether you're listening on the podcast. Just thank you so much for all the support. There will be more goodies released on Discord in terms of homebrews. We will do more in terms of social media, and we will just keep trying to bring great content to you. So thank you once again. This has been episode 37 of Malt and Magic Campaign 2. We have been the Malt and Magic crew and Homing the Dudes. Thank you all. We love you all. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.